How many people in the room are recipients of past Tom Davis? There's one there.
Last time
Is-
it was
is-
what, Snaggy Marks?
Yeah, that's right. Tom, you can raise your hand. You're a recipient.
I was before it was designated as Tom Davis Award.
I designate it right now that it's going back. So raise it up.
I've been around a long time.
Tom's been pressing, the rule is you can only receive it once, but Tom's using that as an excuse that he should get another award. But he actually deserves it, but he's not going to get it. We asked for nominations, and we had a couple of dozen nominations and several people who had several nominations. And part of the process is just to kind of weigh the merit of those. But the person who's going to be receiving this today actually had 7 nominations. And it's a pretty good indication of the kind of work they do and the kind of impact they make. And you'll hear from the people who are going to nominate her. But it's not just the work internally, because this person really values colleagues and is kind to people internally, but what we do externally and how we work with municipalities and businesses and other folks. And we had a staff meeting earlier, and I talked about the importance of relationships, and it's not just following up and following through, but having content in what you're talking about and really knowing stuff. And this person really has brought that to the highest level. So I'm going to ask Susan and Hope and Kevin to come up.
So, I wrote what I wanted to write so I'd stay on task because Lee thinks I talk too much, but she's right. So, being a past recipient of the Tom Davis Award is an honor to be able to be here today to present the 22-24 award. We are fortunate to have a great team at EMDC with amazing employees. Sometimes, though, every now and again, there is someone who stands out and is deserving of a recognition for the contributions that they make to the organization and the difference they make in our community. This year's recipient is someone who not only has a passion for the work and dedication to the organization, but she leads by example, and her work and commitment help move the mission of EMDC forward. For those of you who knew Tom Davis, you knew he was a man who was committed to his family, community, and those around him. He was someone who people admired for the kindness and hard work ethic and appreciated him for his resiliency, leadership, and boldness. Our recipient this year for this award has all of those qualities and then some. Jennifer King is the arrive early in the morning, stay until the work is done, mentoring and leader that every employer could be lucky and fortunate to have. Jen's growth since her arrival at EMDC has taken the organization and the planning department to higher levels. When I arrived back at EMDC, I was excited to be able to work with Jen. I knew of her from her previous work, but couldn't wait to actually work beside her. As you notice today, we are very good in a partnership and collaboration inside the organization. I had no idea, though, at that time, how much of an impact she would have on me as a leader. She mirrors leadership in the same way that I believe, leads by example, and creates opportunities for growth for her team. Every day, she is empowering her team and those around her to work harder, but to also work smarter. We don't always see everything someone in a leadership role does day to day to keep movement forward. We don't see the things that they take on when something falls apart or is led with a challenge. We don't get to see the endless hours they put in to make sure every single deadline is met. Jen is an employee who will not stop until something is complete. She is the same person who will stay through a Friday before a deadline to make sure every piece is put together. She not only leads and supports her team, but she does the same for the entire organization and for her fellow leaders. Jen has enhanced the planning team and provided growth for the programs for our organization. Our municipality relationships are stronger than they ever have been, and she is the first to step up and bring other employees to the table to help serve the needs of those communities she is working with. People want to work with her, people lean on her for advice, and she always has the best interest of the organization as well as the growth possibility for the organization in her priorities. Jen lives the values and the mission of the organization every day in the work she does. She is a leader, a coach, and mentor, and this recognition for that work is well-deserved. In an organization like EMDC, having employees who step outside their everyday responsibilities to assist the needs of the organization's mission is a unique quality to find in someone. Jen is that person in the organization as well as externally in our community. EMDC and our programs have grown thanks to her leadership and dedication. I'm going to leave with a quote before I let Kevin and Hope talk, but I heard a quote or read a quote recently that made me think of her. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.
Jen is an exceptional leader and visionary. Under her leadership, the planning department has grown from not just doing our bread and butter of comprehensive plans, but moving on to community resiliency, housing, transportation, and having exceptional service providers. It's incredible to see her. On a personal note, she's been a leader and a mentor for me, not only through her action, because every day she does come into work, like Susan said, and is ready to go, and knows content, as Lee has spoken about. But community is what Jen really cares about, and it's always evident. That's what she loves, and that's her bread and butter. So, Jen, I couldn't think of anybody more deserving of this award, and I'm excited to be a student underneath you.
I'm not gonna cry. Okay. When I started at EMDC, I had no idea where this job would go. I wasn't even working in planning. Jen saw me, saw my worth, and immediately brought me into planning, where I have since thrived. Jen is an amazing colleague. She's an amazing supervisor, manager, whatever you want to call it. She's just an amazing person. She guides me and advocates for me through my mistakes and successes, and offers that keen guidance whenever I need it, which is a lot because I ask a lot of questions. When I transitioned into my role as a planner, I got to see a little bit into the person that Jen was, because that's when her mom got sick. And I, as a person whose mom has also been sick before in the same type of way, it really gets you. And through it all, Jen has come into work and she's done what needs to be done and been a wonderful person throughout. Despite hardship, despite the long sleepless nights, that woman still took the time to mentor me through all the confusing moments of my new position. If I get to be half the person that Jen is today in the next 20 or so years of my career, I'll consider it a big success in life. Jen, thank you so much. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award.